Jessica with Fantabulosity, and I have more blogging Q&A questions to answer that you have submitted. Thank you so much, by the way. I'm not sure at this very moment how many questions I'm going to answer, because what I'm doing is just pulling them up, the ones that you've submitted, and I'll pick a couple random ones, or 3 or however many, and answer them for you. All right, so a lot of you are submitting questions about how to work with brands, and at what point are you ready to pitch them? So what I'm doing is I'm getting a really good feel of what I want to tell you in that one, how I want to answer it before I answer that one. So thank you so much. I can tell that's a really big question, and I have a lot to share with that. So I'm going to save that one for a later video, but that's because I want to make sure I answer it in a way that makes sense, answers your question, and that can help you in a short amount of time in one of these videos the best I can. Now, I am creating those video packages or clusters. I can't figure out what to call them. I like the word cluster because it's different, but small video packages where I give tutorials and I share with you everything that I know around certain topics, and that's going to be one. Working with brands is going to be a huge one. I already have some videos, tutorials recorded, like how to write a sponsored post and to make sure you really, impress the brands, or, just a clear sign of how writing a sponsored post will really tickle the fancy of the brand or so forth. So I hear your questions loud and clear about that, and I will get to that for you here in just a little while. All right. Let's see. When and how did you see your business grow, and what was the turning point? My son just gave me some chips. Sorry, that's kind of rude. Me to sit here and finish eating that after I hit record. I think there wasn't one big epiphany, and that's what I love about it so much, because you will hear of overnight success, you will hear of viral posts on Facebook go crazy, and then all of a sudden these people are raking in the dough because they had a post on Facebook get shared a million gajillion times. I've never had anything like that happen, and I think that's good for a couple of reasons. One, because through this whole process and with a slow growth, it hasn't been this overnight success that makes me go, okay, then what do my readers really want? So by the slow growth and this whole process of growing my blog and taking it to a point that I consider successful, I was really able to use that time and kind of hone into it and figure out what that is and what that's like. So to answer your question, there wasn't really a turning point. And from the get-go, when I first started blogging, I always had this mindset of celebrating the small things. Whether that was my husband came home and I said, I got my name figured out for my blog, what do you think? And being excited about that. And then, oh my gosh, Matt, I have this brand that wants to work with me. That's huge. That could be a turning point. It's how you define turning point. And something that I go over in anything, in the Creating Your Happy or with my blogging students, I always encourage you to celebrate the small victories. And the reason I say that is because if you're celebrating the small victories, they quickly, or most of the time, turn into big victories. And because I think it's so important to celebrate those small things, because you've worked hard for them and because you should be proud of them. And there is no, there's no definition of what is a success besides what you put on it. So, whether you're asking, well, what point did you start making money with your blog? Or at what point did you start getting a lot of traffic from Pinterest? Or, did you consider it a turning point whenever you hit publish for the first time? So it's pretty much just how you describe it and define it. And I truly think that depends on, the person. Now, all of that may sound foo-foo, and it may sound like I totally ran around the answer to that question, and that's not what I'm trying to do at all. But what I'm saying is I never really had one big aha moment of it's successful, I made it. So truly working hard, setting goals. I almost said small goals, but I guess some of them could be small, some of them could be big. But setting goals to work towards and accomplish has been more beneficial to me and more of what I would consider a turning point in my blog and in my business than one huge exposure on a big blog or being on TV or speaking at a conference. I mean, yeah, those are turning points, But, you know, it depends on who you are. You know, a turning point may be completely different to me than to you. So I think that truly depends on the person who you're talking to. If you're truly asking me what my turning point was, I don't really have a turning point, but you know, there's a couple of things in my head that I can think of when I think about those big moments in my blogging career that made me go, I reached it. I did it. I did that goal. You know, it was one of the things was being accepted into being a guest blogger on a big blog, and that was I Heart Nap Time. I don't know if you've heard of her, but I'll never forget the moment I got the notification that she was opening a call for contributors, and I thought, if I get this, it's gonna be a game changer. You know, not so much traffic or anything. It's just that thing. You know, I've admired her for years, and if she would even allow me to write or post stuff on her blog, what an accomplishment. And the moment I got the email saying you've been accepted, I about panicked. I think we went out to dinner and celebrated. And guys, that may not look like that for somebody else, but for me, it was. The time I got the email to be on TV, you know, to fly out to California, to be on Access Hollywood for Stitch Fix, that was so cool. You know, it's like a free trip. I get to be on TV and it's about clothes, and I love that. I mean, that was a turning point. So, you know, there's things like that. I think, you know, when a brand reached out for the first time, or if I got accepted after applying for one, that was a huge, huge turning point for me. So, no, there wasn't one big turning point where I considered myself successful or that I started getting money in the bank for having a blog, but you know, there were small victories in between, and it has been a slow growth, which I think is super beneficial. And I'd much rather it be that way than some big viral post or some big, huge turning point that made me an overnight success, because this way it's more, not real, I don't want to say that. This way it's more, you know, I'm more in tune with things. I notice the little things that turn into big, and I notice what's working, and I notice what I need to do more of. And I love this whole process that has taken place. So thank you so much for asking. I think that's great. I would just encourage you that if you're looking for a turning point in yours, determine what that turning point is to you. Work towards that, create that goal in yourself, and work towards it and get it. You can do it. I'm not trying to be like, you can do it. I'm like, really, I have been so focused and determined to reach a goal. I even said out loud to my husband, and I wrote in an email to a friend, I said, I'm going to be on TV within a year. I'm going to do it. I'm going to be on a news station within a year. The next month, it happened. Guys, I'm telling you, if you put your mind to it, you focus in on it, you set your goals, that can be the turning point that I'm talking about today. Next question. Let me check that one off. Are Facebook ads and boosting opportunities good ways to attract more people to blogging and social media pages? All right, if you would ask me this question a month ago, I probably would have said, you know, I've never really had success from Facebook ads, but you're asking me now, which is cool, because I'm actually digging Facebook ads more and more. Because one, I've studied them a little more, trying to figure out what works and what doesn't. And when you study them and you try to figure out what works and what doesn't, then they will work for you a lot better than just shooting in the dark and running a Facebook ad. If there's any advice I could offer in Facebook ads, do not just create one and not pay attention to who you're targeting just to run one, because that is like flushing money down the toilet. I can't stress enough. And I did that in the beginning. I'm going to run this ad and see what happens. I would lose $50, $75, you know, just like that, because I wasn't targeting correctly. I wasn't running the right image. It wasn't eye-catching. So do your research, and then I truly do think that Facebook ads could work well for you. Now, another mistake I made in the beginning is running Facebook ads like, okay, I got the right eye-catching image, and I'm going to get some traffic to the blog for this. Yeah, I did. It was great. It cost me $100 to get people to the blog to read that blog post. I made $20 in ad revenue on that $100 because I sent them to some page that didn't have an email sign-up sheet or a link, or it didn't have an affiliate link in it. And just like, that was so stupid. That was so impulsive of me to just randomly create a Facebook ad and not think about where I'm directing them to. So if you are running a Facebook ad to direct them to a blog post or to a certain page or to a product you're selling, really think it through on where you're directing them and try to capture them the best that you can. You did ask about, does it help with your social media pages? Yes. Okay, so here's my thoughts on that. And I'm no Facebook ad expert, remember that. If I were just to run an ad for my Facebook page, you're going to get Facebook likes. You are. If there's anything I've found from doing giveaways, and if I think I've only ran maybe 1 or 2 years ago Facebook ads for my page, I never really got engaging fans. And that was before you could target who your ad is to. So this may change. I actually need to try it again. But guys, I think I have 11,000 Facebook fans. And I will share a post and it'll reach 1,000, maybe, if I'm lucky. And it's like, okay, 1, that's either Facebook's algorithm. 2, it's showing it to people that liked my page, but don't really care about my stuff. And I would rather target the people that want to be there, or I would rather just wait and see who likes my page by a post that I created that organically attracted them, instead of trying to pay to get a number on Facebook. Now, having a lot of followers on Facebook, that looks good to the brands. But guys, what it is, it's the engaging followers and fans of your Facebook that matters. So right now, after years of doing giveaways and all this stuff, I've built up my Facebook fan page to 11,000. Not bad. Do I want it better? Sure, who doesn't? But out of those 11,000, I don't know how many of them are actually engaging, that actually like my posts, that actually go read the blog posts. And that's because I spent money and time on giveaways and stuff just to try to get my number up. But I flooded my audience so much with people that just liked my page to try to win a giveaway, instead of people that really actually care and want to see my stuff. So if I had my wish, I wish I could go through all my Facebook fans and kick out all the people that don't like my page or that don't want to engage, because that would be better for my engagement on Facebook. So I just really suggest, if you're thinking about Facebook ads, I would think about researching them and figuring out how to do them, how you can target who you really want to target. And there's even some science behind that. For a lot of years, I just thought, I'll target, okay, so I like to cook and I like fashion, I like home decor. I'll just target people who like home decor. I'll type in tag home decor fashion recipes. Okay, well, you're going to reach 20 bajillion people. Congratulations. When really, I want to target me and you, a mom who's in her 30s who has kids at home that needs a quick, easy recipe for a weeknight dinner and not some gourmet meal. But if I selected, tagging and targeting any recipe, I may target someone who has so much time on her hands and she loves to cook and has taken cooking classes and she wants to make gourmet recipes. She doesn't give a crap about my quick and easy, simple recipes, so I've wasted that money targeting the wrong person. So the more you niche it down and target who your audience really is and who you want them to be, your Facebook ads can really benefit from that. So I just really encourage you to research how Facebook ads work. You can do that on YouTube. There's blog posts out there, and they're always changing. So anything that you watch or read, make sure you read something that's current and recent, because after updates and all of that stuff can change and it becomes overwhelming. Okay, and the last question is, do I really need to have a niche for my blog? This could be controversial because I do not think like others. I listen to podcasts, I watch YouTube videos, always to try to grow my blog and my business. And what I hear over and over and over again is, you really need to niche down and find who your audience is and blog to that person, or blog about that topic. Okay, so going back to the Facebook ads really quick, when you're targeting and you're paying to target specific people to try to get Facebook fans or someone to a specific blog post, I get that. Niche that sucker down. But with your blog, here's my take on it. I called mine a lifestyle blog because when I started, I learned the hard way. I started a blog about party planning and styling only. I quickly got bored with only talking about that. I wanted to talk about moving and marriage and home decor and fashion, and it just didn't fit with my blog's name or my theme. So I quickly went to a lifestyle blog to where I could talk about anything I want. And guys, I'm telling you, I think that was the best decision I could have ever made, because I am someone who likes so much stuff. I just thoroughly enjoy talking about so much stuff. And if I would have had something smothering me saying I could only talk about one specific thing, I would have failed miserably. And I think by leaving it open like that, it's actually really good working with brands too, because I'm opening myself up to so many more brands than I would if I was just doing a blog post on, or doing a blog on vacuums. Okay, so here's my take on it, my final take on this question. If you are someone who wants to start a blog to strictly make money, you don't care if it's something you're passionate or not, you want to just make money at this, then yes, I suggest you niche down. Let's say, I have no idea, so don't do this without researching it. Vacuum reviews. Okay, so you don't give a crap about vacuums, but you see so many people searching, is this vacuum a good vacuum? What's the best vacuum of 2017? And there's hardly anything out there in the internet world for vacuum reviews. Yeah, create yourself a blog about vacuum reviews. Are you going to get bored with it? Probably. You're not going to be passionate about it? Probably. You may eventually if you just get so into it and you find it's interesting. But if that's your goal, to create a blog strictly to make money, yeah, niching down is a great idea. But if you can hear my kids playing Nintendo now. If your goal is to create a blog that you're excited about, that you're passionate about, that is about a hobby, that you want the flexibility to blog about whatever you want, I really encourage you to keep it open. So I've been talking to my husband recently, and we're going to actually do something for him. I don't think it's going to be a blog, but we have an idea of where it's going. I just don't want to say anything because it's his, and I don't want to like overstep boundaries. But, you know, I told him, I said, I think you really need to start out broad, because you may find a year in that you want to talk about more than you thought you did. And so keep that in mind when you are naming your business, your website, your channel, whatever it is. Think about that, because the last thing that I want you to do is be a year into it with a great following and traction, and then you have to change the name because you named it partydesignsonly.com and you want to do fashion reviews too, and it just doesn't make sense, and then you'd have to rebrand and start all over. So just, if you're not quite sure what it is that you want to blog about, that's okay. That's all right. Just make sure that you start your blog on with a name that doesn't hold you down to something, and just, you know, go with it and play with it. So it depends on what your goal is. If you strictly want a blog to make money, yeah, niche down, find out what is high in demand and low in supply. So find out what people are searching and looking for, and then find out if there's not a lot of results there on Google or whatever, and then sure, create your blog and target it around that, and niche down specifically to attract those people searching for that stuff so you get the ad revenue, the affiliate income. Or if you want something that you enjoy that you can eventually turn into a business like I have, then I would say keep it pretty broad, because you may find that you want to do more of something later, or you may find that once you get into it, that certain topic, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so sick of that, and then you want to change it. So that's my advice about that. All right, guys, so that is it for this quick video of the blogging Q&A. My kids' Nintendo is so loud, and this was after me telling them to keep quiet because I'm doing a video. If I hear Yoshi and Mario one more time, so I'm going to hop off of here because I'm afraid you're not even going to be able to hear me eventually because they'll keep turning it up. But I hope that answered some of your questions. I still have some questions coming in. I am working on that video series and creating those video packages more and more every day. I'm completing some. They're almost ready to launch and share with you guys, and I cannot wait to get those out to you. All right, guys, I will see you later. You can click on the link below to submit your blogging question if you like, and I'd be happy to answer it. See you later. Bye.